because it's even such a cool version of the card.
I know. I thought it'd be a goofy card to keep around, right?
Yeah. Could you cook with it? Was it? Did you interact with it much? Or?
That's the interesting thing is it was better than Faramy's cooler because you look at it, that's just like a giant like copper coated heatsink or something. So it actually
and it's a game that already had older FSR. They actually updated it in and stuff. So hopefully they're going to get on track with this kind of stuff because it is all cool technology. Oh, we've got a Dogu in the back.
Oh yeah, that's Jessie. She pops up every now and then.
Oh.
Yeah. The only thing I can say, I do want to kind of transition to one other thing about graphics cards.
Okay.
Before we move on to kind of the more CPU-y stuff.
Okay.
I really do think, and I've had this discussion with a few people now, but and I just put out a video called, about if AMD can fix RDNA 3. When you look at RDNA 3, it has 67% more bandwidth than the 6950 XT. It has 2.6 times the teraflops. I think there's no way around it. They intended this to perform way better than it did. I mean, there's some games where it's only 5% better than a 6950 XT. I don't even know how that's possible unless they're just running RDNA 2 code on an RDNA 3 compute unit. And so I guess actually a way to make this conversation maybe more interesting for you is everyone I've asked, it's and in fact, I've been told people at the Radeon drivers team are working over the holidays now. They really are not happy with this. What would AMD have to do in terms of a driver improvement for you to say, actually, the 7900 XT is okay to cost $900? Right now, it's around a 3090 Ti in performance. It's 25% behind the 4080. What do you think they've got to do for this thing to make sense at that price point?
Not have it be at that price point. I don't know. That whole price point of GPUs is not something that I necessarily agree with as a thing existing. I don't know. But I think that if they look, AMD does it with every GPU. They have a proven record of their fine whining. As it ages, the GPUs start getting better and better and better. It's pretty much every.
But it wasn't with RDNA 1 and 2. RDNA 2 just worked, which was nice.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. But I
thought they were better by now, but I guess not all the time.
Do they have they not gotten performance improvements since their launch from drivers?
Well, they have, but so has NVIDIA. If anything, Ampere has gained performance relative to AMD. And even Vega, which is a heavy focus of the video as a comparison to RDNA 3, because Vega was hyped up. Maybe Vega was hyped up because AMD said it would be a 1080 Ti competitor. Yeah. I don't know, AMD. Maybe don't do that.
Yeah, never. Why do that? Yeah.
And it did improve performance, but it only improved relative to Pascal 10%. It's still not even close to a 1080 Ti.
Okay.
Now, that's one example, Vega. Another example, the 7970. When the 7970 came out, it couldn't even really beat the 680. By the time that generation was over, it was competing with a Titan. So hopefully it's that. you know?
Yeah.
And also, that was the 7000 series. And also, that launched in December. Near the end of the year, and the drivers weren't ready. So I would suggest we may be looking at another GCN situation. It doesn't change how stupid I think this is, though. Then you should have launched in January. What are you doing?
Yeah, everybody should learn from Cyberpunk and every other game launched in the last 4 years. Launch the thing when it's ready. People are just, we can wait. It's fine. Please just launch the product.
But so I don't think this is copium, because I kept even arguing with some people at AMD, I don't know, I've seen this before, where you guys are it's going to get better, but it is supposed to perform around a 4090. And hopefully they can get it there, and I think I agree with you, though, even if they did, even if the 7900 XTX gets close to a 4090 in a few months, even if the 7900 XT ends up getting somewhat close to a 4080, I still think it's got to be like 750. Like, they got to drop the price. It doesn't matter how good it is. I just think it's dumb at $900.
Yeah, that's so much money for a single component. It's a lot. Yeah.
Unless you're just capable of doing insane things, which I think the 4090 is, you can't demand a price above $800. Is kind of the argument I would make moving forward. Let me see here. Let me throw in this question here then to wrap the GPU discussion.
Okay.
John Easterling writes in and he says, "Hi, Tom and David. As someone who got into mining with a 6000 series and a 30 series card, it kind of makes me wonder why people hate miners so much, because when they go bust and they have to sell off their stuff, there's tons of great deals to be had in the secondhand market. I know short term they drive up prices, but maybe that's okay if miners get the expensive new toys first and then subsidize the next gen by overpaying." Well, that's one way of looking at it. Because I know Tom used to mine a bit. What are your thoughts? Am I off base? You know what? I'll answer first. I think anyone's mad if they can't get something they want. It doesn't matter what the reason is.
Yeah, no, I think that's fair. Like when I was reading that comment, I was like, it kind of, or that question, I was kind of thinking of it from the perspective of like, if you're living in a small town and like everything, like your rent is affordable, like all your food is like, relatively cheap, it's one of the reasons you live there. And then like a global pandemic happens, and then all the like city folk realize that, oh, if I move out to this little town, my rent is going to be cheap. And then they move there, and then suddenly it's all just expensive. Everything is expensive now. And then the people who were living in the small town before are usually not very happy with it. And I think that's kind of what happened with the GPU space. It's like, the gamers were happy just being gamers in their paddle pool playing with their graphics card, and then miners came and made it expensive. But I do get where they're coming from. Like, it's a commodity. Like, if people want to buy it, like they're more than welcome to do it. It just sucks that it makes it expensive for everyone.
What I would say too is, I don't really buy his argument of like, we made it better in the end. Don't pat yourself on the back, guys. But what I would say is, it's hard for me to feel bad.
You are absolutely a victim to anyone who is. There's a part of them crying out for the incorporation of the monster within them, which is what gives them strength of character and self-respect. What it means is that being able to be cruel and then not being cruel is better than not being able to be cruel. Because in the first case,
it's hard for me to feel sympathetic when I'm like,
and in the second case, you're dangerous.
Guys, we've been able to play the latest games for a while now. I think a lot of this is